with so many investment options available, it can be very confusing and overwhelming to figure out what is the best financial strategy for you. Joining us now is Adam Taylor with Taylor Financial to help us navigate all of this and how we should be investing regardless of our age. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
I love that we're breaking it down like this, and especially starting with some younger people who may be watching who are like, hey, I just wrapped up college. I'm in my 20s. Investments probably the last thing on some people's minds.
Sure.
They're just going into the workforce.
Yeah.
What are those groundwork that you need to kind of lay to be able to start investing for this younger group of people?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So with a lot of our young clients, it's important to really think about the ins and the outs of their finances. They don't teach financial literacy or planning in school as much as they probably should. So for a lot of our younger clients, we want to identify, where are you spending money? It's easy with mobile pay, with credit cards. So we literally will have clients write down everything they spend for 2 weeks to identify what's a fixed cost, what's a discretionary cost. And then we start thinking about, okay, how can we save? So there's a rule of thumb we use for a lot of our clients called the 20-60-20 rule, and 20% should be saved first and foremost. If you can save and spend, it's so much easier to do. So we want to make sure they save 20%, and then we talk about where they should be saving and where they should be investing.
I have to ask, where's the 60 in that 20-60-20 rule?
Yeah, so 20% saving first and foremost, and then 60% should be for your fixed costs, things that you can't necessarily control. Your home, your car, things that are needs, not wants. And the other 20% would be for discretionary, going out to dinner, going out to things that are wants, things that you
The coffee run, perhaps.
The coffee run, right? The cafe drink there. So the 20-60-20 rule is a great rule of thumb for a lot of our young clients and older clients.
I like that one. I'm going to hold on to that, even though Lord knows I'm not in my 20s. But let's talk, okay, moving on to 30s. Yep. I know for me personally, 30s was the time, got married, we had our daughter. You know, it's kind of like you're establishing more of what your adult life is going to look like. How can you do that when it comes to investments, kind of setting for the future? Yeah,
so again, going back to the 20-60-20 rule, but then when we want them to save, we want to make sure that they're maximizing any free match they could possibly get from their employer. A lot of employers will offer 3, 5, 6% free money. Free money is pretty hard to beat. And then especially in your 30s, maybe even 20s too, we want to look at Roth assets. So Roth 401ks, we want to look at Roth IRAs. We want to be aggressive in our investments. We want to go almost all stocks because we know we have a lot of time on the horizon. So for 30s, it's about, let's think of post-tax contributions. Let's think about, now that we have a family, maybe education funds. So starting to think about 529 plans, Florida prepaid. And then we want to think about protecting our most important asset, which is the ability to earn income. So making sure that they have a significant amount of disability income insurance through their employer, or even supplementing that through a private party.
I'm kind of curious, you know, you brought up so many different things that are typically with the employer. Is that stuff that you work with your clients? You look at what the employees are open to getting that maybe could help their future in the investment world?
Of course. So as an advisor and one that acts in a fiduciary responsibility, we want to look at the big picture, not just myopically of, here's what you should invest in, here's your Tesla stock, right? We want to think about, how does the impact that they have now change over time? And if they have some benefits through work, fantastic. How do we layer on top of that? How do we look at the big picture?
I love hearing that. Okay, 40 and 50 something, you know, retirement's closer. We've only got about 30 seconds left, Adam. Let's break it down.
So I'm in my 40s now. I'm thinking about, okay, how can I look at my estate planning, making sure I have a significant amount of life insurance for my kids, my family. And then I want to think about maximizing my saving, getting that 20%, if not 25% of my saving, and really planning for the next 15, 20 years of my pre-retirement years.
It's not too late.
No.
Well, I'm so glad we were able to talk about this. I loved this approach as we shared before we got started, but we want to make sure and share the contact information so you can get in touch with Taylor Financial. There's the phone number. There's their website. New offices we just touched on Memorial. So there you go. Adam, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.